I have 8:30. At this time, I will call the February 10th meeting of the West Memphis Utility Commission to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the minute from the January 13th meeting. You received them in your packet.
Make a motion to approve the minute.
Have a motion by Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Felton. Any additions or deletions? All in favor? Aye. Minutes are approved. Next item is the January safety report.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, our numbers. We're doing good. We're 841 days without lost time injury. We're 98 since our last reportable. So we've not had anything 2022 that goose eggs for incident rate. January is typically the month whenever our monthly safety meeting goes out about winter weather policy, and it needed to. We had a small event first part of January, and then a pretty good one last week. One of the main things to take away from the policy is we do restrict unnecessary travel on foot and in the vehicles. When we have to get out and do some work on foot, it's approved work, maintain services to the community. We put on ice tracking devices, which helps just with balance and keeping any slip and fall situation from happening. And then with the vehicles, we try to utilize the four-wheel drives, or we just recently started supplying chains, put chains on vehicles and we have to get out. Yeah, we kind of got real lucky, unscathed in a lot of ways, but we were prepared for it. That's all I've got. Have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item is personnel update.
All right, going over our new hires and resignations for the month of January. We had 2 new hires in the month of January. We had a employee from the we hired a apprentice level 1 lineman. He's actually had recently graduated from a 15-week lineman school over in West Tennessee. He lives currently just north of Arkansas in Missouri, but will be relocating to us. So young man, I think will be turning 20 here shortly. And then also the other new hire we had is a transfer. He's taking the place from the sanitation department into the sewer treatment plant. He already has a CDL, so he's able to start helping Paul immediately transport the sludge coming off the belt press to the landfill. And we didn't have any resignations. That's it.
All right, any questions or comments?
I can tell you, we are in the process. I know Terry has selected somebody that's going through, and this was, I've been out the last couple of days, but before I left, they were working on doing background checks, and so hopefully that one will be filled. And Mike has narrowed down some and was doing interviews on some of our other lineman positions. Oh, and Tori, we found a young lady. We're stealing her, I think. I hope, if she passes all her stuff. So that's also going through the background checks and everything to confirm. So we'll be refilling the accountant position from somebody in the community. All right. Anything else?
Any questions, comments? Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is some presentations. Todd's going tonight.
Just before I go there, and I should have flipped to this. She told me it was on there, so that's my fault. And these are the two new employees, Hiawatha LaFleur. Again, he was a transfer, and then Ashton Thompson. Again, you can see the dates that they were hired and the departments they were brought into. So again, hopefully they'll be long-term employees, and I think our new pay scales helped us drastically in this recruiting process at those lower levels. Okay. The next thing I want to do, and this is something we haven't, in my opinion, done enough of over the years, and I think we need to start to do more of and do more for our employees and recognizing them for what they do and all their years of service. So to me, this is just a start of, hey, this is what we need to do. One of the other things we've done is, in your packet, you saw a newsletter, okay? That newsletter, we're going to start producing that monthly. I can tell you, Todd had about 2% of that. Mainly my 2% was telling Danielle, hey, we need to do a newsletter. So Danielle is doing that. I'm going to ask others to do some other things where, hey, announcing birthdays, announcing long-term services to the city or to the utility department, and then anything else going on to keep our employees knowledgeable of what's going on. Okay, I think it's something, again, letting them know what's going on, within our department, and then also, again, thanking them for their years of service that we have. What I want to do is, this is basically just, like I said, a start. These are personnel who had long-term, in my opinion, years of service for the utility department that happened during the year 2021. I will want to start to do this, I think, when these years of service occur just shortly after that month. But I think this is a start. Again, I hope to be able to do more for them. I was just talking, Ms. Dion is our personnel rep, and I'm going to get with her, and I hope they can bring a plan to y'all of something that we can do and y'all can approve for recognizing of our long-term employees. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to just start out, and if I can get Beth up here. She starts out. Again, Beth started out with the utilities as a meter reader 20 years ago, and she now works in doing meter change outs, helping Mario. I can tell you, she does a lot of administrative work and helps tremendously in keeping the department running. I can tell you that. Again, thank you. And you can see her hire date, 2001. Okay, so she completed 20 years of service with us then, and here shortly will be 21. Deb.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty. The next one, Jerry Madison.
Congratulations,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Again, Jerry, I think, started out in the meter department as a meter reader also. And, no, it's not. All right. And then transferred over to the electric department. When did you transfer to the electric department?
3 years in the meter department and then 17 years in the electric department.
In the electric, and has started out, went through the ranks, and is now one of our senior linemen. So he's a foreman basically over the crews. And again, appreciate everything. I know he's a West Memphis graduate. And
That was my principal. Best man to my wife's father.
Yeah, sure was. Yeah.
So again, Jerry, appreciate everything you do for us, and thank you. All right, called in sick this morning. So again, Jerry started out many years ago. He's been in our water department. He's the assistant foreman for the utilities. He works right up under Michael Lamb. We rely on him a good bit. When Michael Lamb's not around, you know, he's the guy out there running the crews and everything. So again, he's been with us. You can see October 16, 1991. It was 30 years. Again, I want to thank him for all his years of service and calling in sick. All right. The next one, Miss Denise Bosnick. Miss Denise, you started in what department? I know you moved over to Hall.
I started part-time in the office where I was doing mail, night deposit, collections, and all that. Then in 1985, when the EPA mandated we have an industrial pre-treatment program, William H. Johnson gave the job to me, and I've had it ever since.
And again, she's one of our department heads, and we can't do anything without her, and she handles it. I just go down there and say, okay, is this covered? Yep, I got it. Say, okay. So again, thanks for all your years of service.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. The last one. I will tell you.
Your turn.
This one started working here before I was born. I know that didn't sound great. I know David has started out, I think you started out in the sewer department?
Started out in the line crew
Okay.
for 2 years, and because of a bad knee, I couldn't climb. So
Okay.
then I transferred in the sewer department, and a few years, and then I transferred as the warehouseman. And then the purchasing agent retired, and they offered me the job.
There you go. Again, you can see his years of service, and 50 years at a company is, you know, one company. That's something that just, you don't hear of much anymore.
I was his principal also.
See? See? Oh, but yeah, David, you know, his family I know is from here. I know some of his other kinfolks, his sister and all them, go to church over there with some. And again, I know me and David have some, every once in a while, we'll butt heads, but that's okay. It's all good, ain't it?
Yeah.
And again, David, you know, I don't know how else I can say this, but thank you for all your years of service and everything you've done for this utilities and this community. You know, continue to hope everything keeps working out. David actually called in today and said, I'm not going to come in. I said, I really just need you to come in just for a little bit. And, you know, so he said, okay. So I guess after 50 years you can do that.
I just got to say one thing about the time I've been on this commission. He's cost us more money. Yeah, he knows how to steal money.
I agree. He's always the one that sending those invoices up so that we can send the checks out.
Yeah, I was told one time by a commission that you sure are spending a lot of money, and I said, it's job security.
Again, David, thank you for your years of service and thank you for that.
I would like to thank everybody. Thank you, Todd. It's been a pleasure working here for 50 years, and I plan on 50 more.
That'll make you 100 and...
That's all I've got for the presentations. Again, I hope to be able to do more for our employees and do more things for them and recognize them for what they do for our organization. you know, because again, you know, without them, it just doesn't run. You know, again, we need those employees and being successful at what they do that helps our organization be successful. The last thing I want to just kind of update y'all is we came out pretty much unscathed from the storm last week. So I don't know if it was just, God, I think it was a little bit of God's blessings on us. A lot of ours fell to the ground, and so, but we were prepared. We had called in some contract crews. We had gotten prepared to start serving. There's some things that we find out when you actually have to do it. You find out there's things you need to improve on. And so one of the things that we all did notice as a fault is what happens if there's a big enough outage that we don't have the ability, because normally we take the workers somewhere to get something to eat. What if there's nowhere to go buy food? How do we feed these guys that are working 16 hours a day? So it's something we're going to have to figure out and address and come up with. Hopefully we don't have to actually execute it in the future or anytime soon, but we need to make sure we have it planned, because, you know, again, I went to a conference just here recently, and I never heard it put this way, and they were talking about the virus and all the issues that we're dealing with, and the gentleman speaking is the CEO of a very large utility. He said, having the power on is not an option. It's a requirement. We're required to keep the power on. Because without the power on, you have zero economic development. People can't function. You have your world changes completely. So they were talking in reference to the virus and everything that goes on, but he took it in a different reference that it's not an option. The power has to stay on. We have to be out there, and you know. So I believe that's true in all statements when you're dealing with services from the city. The services that we provide, electric, water, and sewer, they're not an option. They're a requirement. You can't live without water, okay? You know, you can't live comfortably without electricity. And you have zero economic viability when you don't have those services. So I think that's how we need to treat our business and make sure we're doing what we need to do to make sure we keep it that way. That's all I got.
God, I've been sitting here, and there's a bunch of squirrels out there. And I was watching them here, there, up the tree, down the tree, and I thought, that's like our employees. They're all over this community. You can't go to any part of this city without seeing a utility truck. And they don't always work in good conditions.
That's correct.
And we just need to thank more of them and thank them for what they did for us.
I agree.
The only time people pay attention is when they don't have enough power.
I agree.
Anything else come before us? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Have a motion, oh, Mrs. Brown. Snuck in behind me. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Belton. All in favor? We stand adjourned. And thank y'all for your attendance.